Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Anthony Borelli, and today I'm going to be showing you how to fix a popped BMX inner tube. So the first four things we're going to need are a socket wrench, a 17mm socket, and if you do have pegs, you're going to want to have an extension, and then you're also going to want to use a breaker bar. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is put the socket right into the peg with the breaker bar, and then push down here to get it loose. After that, you want to take your socket wrench, and then just do the same thing and loosen this thing up. Alright, so after you do that, you want to take the nut and the washer, put those aside, as well as the peg, or you may not have a peg. After that, we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so after you take the nut and washers off, you're going to want to pop the tire forward just to get the chain loose. Once you get the chain loose, you can just pick it up a little, and just like that, the chain is off, right? Pretty simple. After that, you're going to want to pop the tire out like this. Keep in mind the chain is still on it. So then you're going to take it off here, put the chain to the side. So also, since the brakes are right here, they're going to stop, if you have brakes, they are going to stop the tire from getting out. So you can just pull on the brakes just a little and squeeze the tire out. Alright, so now that we have this off, what you're going to want to do is take the tire as well as the tube inside off the rim. So you can use a flathead screwdriver, but I prefer to use my hands just so I don't damage anything. So you can pick the tire out like this, and then you bring it above the rim, just like that. So now that you have it off just a little bit, you can go around the whole tire and pull that off. Alright, so now I have the tube and the tire off the rim. So we can put this aside because we're not going to use that yet. And then take the tube out of the tire. Alright, so if you have a replacement tube and do not need to patch your old one, you can skip this part of the video just to see how to get it back in the tire and wheel and put it back on the bike. Alright, so to patch your old tube, first you're going to want to look for the hole, and you can do that by inflating the tube. I already did that, so you can hear where it is leaking. And for me, that is right around here. And you can see I already tried to patch it. So once you find the hole, you want to take your rubber cement that comes in the pack, and you want to apply a little bit around the hole. Alright, so you can spread this around to the back of the tube. This tube, not this tube. And just let it dry for about a minute. So the next thing you're going to want to do is take your tube patch, and what I did is I rounded off the corner so it'll stick much better to the tube. People do this different ways, it's just personal preference, I guess. And you want to apply it to the hole and where the rubber cement is. Just like that. Alright, so after you have pressed your patch down and it is sticking and there's no leak, you want to inflate the tube just a little to give it some shape. Alright, so once you have your tube inside the tire like this, you're going to want to take your rim and align the hole right here with the stem of the tube. Just like that. So then you're going to want to tuck the tire right inside the rim like this. Alright, so now that I have everything together, we are going to want to put this back on the bike. So you want to make sure which side has the chain before you put it back on the bike, and also you want it to be pretty squishy just so you can get it past the brakes if you have brakes. So you want to insert it like this, and and then you're gonna have to get it right around the brakes, just like that. All right, so now that we have this like this, we are gonna wanna put the chain back on and tighten it back up. All right, so the next thing we're gonna wanna do is put the chain back on. So you wanna pop the wheel back out again, just so you can get the chain right around here. Once you do that, you'll want to put it right back around the sprocket. So you can do that just by putting a little bit on and then doing that with the pedals. So one thing to keep in mind when you are putting the chain back on is your chain tension, and to make sure that the wheel is not too much to the right or too much to the left. So the way we're going to do that is you're going to want to pull really hard on the back wheel, and then you want to tighten it back up. Alright, so in order to do that, you're going to take your nut and washer and you're going to put it right here, but you do not want to tighten it too much so you can pull on the wheel. And then you're going to do the same thing with your peg, but do not over tighten it yet. We'll do that at the end. In order to put the peg back on, you're going to want to take the washer and nut and make sure that the grooved side is going inside the peg. So you can drop the washer down just like that. Perfect. Then drop the nut. And then you will put it around here just like you did with this, with the peg on it. And you'll take your socket wrench and then you can tighten that back up. Alright, so after you have loosely tightened both nuts onto the frame, what you're going to want to do is pull back on the wheel. And as you do that, center it between both of the brakes. And if you don't have brakes, try to get both of these two lines in the middle of the bike frame. This is so that it won't rub against the side of the frame and cause friction when you ride. It'll make it much smoother. So you want to pull back really hard on the wheel. And as you do that, you're going to want to tighten the nut down. Like that. The bike may slide a little, but that's okay. Alright, so once you got that one down, you're going to want to make sure that it's still centered. Then you're going to want to do the same thing, pull really hard on the wheel, and tighten that. Alright, so now this is perfectly centered, and it is tight, and the chain is also nice and tight. So the next thing we're going to want to do is just inflate the tube, and this thing should be back up and running. Alright, so after you fully inflate it, you might want to recenter it just again because it might have looked different when it wasn't as inflated. And also, the PSI is totally personal preference. I ride about 40 and 50. 40 in my back, maybe about 35 actually in the front. So once you're done inflating it and centering it and getting your chain tension all nice, you want to put the stem cap back on, and then you're ready to go. So I hope you like this video, and please like and subscribe for more.